200 episodes.
200.
I guess not 200, but episode 200.
Episode 200, yes.
Yeah.
It was preempted a few times, so it's like 197.
But still.
We're counting this 200 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Week 40.
Week 40.
If we were pregnant, we would have had a baby now.
Really?
40 weeks.
That's exciting. Dark Shadows is now born. Dark Shadows Jr.
Yep. So a lot of just kind of blackmail and people forcing their way into
lots of blackmail
and situations and people being angry that Jason is around, and we find out kind of why he's there, that he is broke and needs money, and he and Liz did something 18 years ago.
Yeah, so he's forcing her to let him stay.
And to
Collinwood
buy him clothes and
buy him clothes, yeah.
Stuff. So we assume it has something to do with Paul.
Takes the run of the house, and he's also got a buddy.
Yes.
Who's in on it. I'm not sure what's his name?
Little Willie.
Little Willie.
He calls him early on and just says, things are going well, and then they make plans to meet up later, and Little Willie. Got a hot temper. And the hots for Vicky.
And the hots for Vicky. He was staring her down, and some guy bumped into him, and he was ready to start a fight, and refers himself in the third person, and he's getting a cut of the money that Jason thinks he's going to extort from Elizabeth, but we don't know why he's even involved or what.
No idea. It seems to be something between Jason and Liz, so I don't know how this guy comes into play. But Roger is not happy that he is around. Roger keeps questioning Liz, like, what is going on here? It doesn't seem like her to have a guest over. She doesn't, he was a friend of Paul's, she says, and he's like, well, she wouldn't want to do anything to do with a friend of Paul's. Yeah. So it's just very mysterious, and he's very upset about it. So he tries to, force him out, and he tries to not be very nice to him and asks him to leave, but Liz is very firm on, no, he's staying, even though Roger she doesn't know that Roger caught him downstairs.
She doesn't. Yes,
Roger caught him trying to break into that room. He was
snooping around, and he said, did he know what the room is? Presumably he does.
I don't know. I feel like Paul's remains are in there, or maybe Paul's still in there alive. They're keeping him alive down there. I don't know.
Maybe that's why she was so worried to get back to Collinwood from the hospital and open it up, and is he still alive? Sorry, Paul.
Roger went down there because he wanted to see if Sam's paintings were down there. So he went down and caught Jason and kind of asked him, when was the last time you saw Paul, and what's going on? Why are you here and whatever. So,
but they both agreed, well, if you don't tell her that I was down here, I won't tell her that you were down here.
Right. Although Roger comes back because Sam puts some pressure on him and threatens to go to Burke. So he goes back down and tries to break the lock.
Yeah.
And Liz finds him and threatens to kick him out if he continues to look in there. And then she's like, oh, it's just Paul's old things and no one needs to be in there. And Paul's old things for sure. His bones.
His old things. His old decaying corpse.
I really have no idea.
Do you have a theory? Is that your theory?
That's my joke theory. I don't have another theory. I mean, that kind of makes sense to me that they somehow accidentally killed him off or something 18 years ago, and they hid it by putting his body down there. I don't know why she needed to get back to the house. I guess just to make sure no one had messed with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
I'm sure she would have heard. Police would have probably shown up at her hospital bed if someone had been in there and found it. Yeah,
this is true. And then we had a big revelation or scene that Sam is drunk and he admits to Maggie that he needs to find those paintings because Roger bought them or whatever, and she puts it all together that it was payoff money and that he saw that it was Roger that killed the guy.
Yes.
And she's very upset, and you would be if you found out you're dead. But then he explains to her that her mother was sick and they didn't have the money, and he wanted to take care of her and take care of Maggie, and so he needed the money and he was desperate.
He was able to get her into a hospital, but she ended up dying.
Yeah.
A couple years later, anyway. So
anyway, I mean, I feel for him.
Started drinking.
And then Maggie.
I'd do the same thing if you were dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Maggie tries to convince him to go to Burke and saying, even if you spend a little bit of time in jail, it's worth it to have that clear conscience. But he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then she kind of basically can't even look at him anymore. So she leaves. And then he calls Burke anyway. He just wants to clear the air, and Burke's just like,
invites him over and
tell me again, say his name. And
he was like slow getting it out,
very
of course,
slow getting it out.
Soap opera, so everything's got to move so slowly. They got to pad everything out. And so he was like explaining. He's like, so what happened? And he's like, explaining, well, I saw the guy and he walked out. He got hit by the car. Yeah, keep going. And then the car stopped, and I saw who was driving the car. And he's like, was it me? And he goes, no, it wasn't you. Was it Laura Collins? He goes, no, it wasn't Laura Collins. Who was it, Sam?
Say his name.
Only one other person.
So then he says it a few more times.
Yeah, he keeps getting him to say it louder. Relishing in the.
And then Burke is like, we need to go and confront Roger right now. And Maggie's trying to protect Sam, saying like, no, I know, saying like, no, I don't want to, maybe you shouldn't go right now. It's not a good idea. Wait till the morning. And then, but Sam wants to see the look on his face. He doesn't want to miss that after everything that they've gone through. So they head off to Collinwood, and that's just, they
show up right after, so Roger has a fight with Elizabeth about Jason being there. And then Jason comes, he meets Jason later on. First. And then he had a fight with Elizabeth at the start. And then a few hours later, he came down and Jason was drinking his brandy. And so then he got into a fight with Jason. And then Elizabeth came in. And then the three of them, he was arguing with both of them. And then he goes up to bed. And then Sam and Burke show up. And so now he's going to have another fight with Burke and Sam, presumably.
Yep.
It's just like a marathon.
They barge in. And
stress fest for Roger.
Liz is just like, don't come in. Can we do this in the morning? And they're just like, no. And they basically barge in and say, go get him. And she tries to plead with Sam to like tell her what's going on. And then Roger comes out and basically craps his pants. That the two of them are there together. So you can see in his face just like, crap. So we'll see where that goes.
Yep.
Yeah, but why don't they just go to the police? You're right. Like, because it wouldn't be as exciting and dramatic. And then Burke would not get to see his face and whatever. But, I mean, who knows? He could just go and get his gun.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous situation over there in Collingwood.
They said Collingwood.
So yeah, I have no predictions except for Roger's in for it.
Roger's in for it. Is he going to go to jail? Is he going to get beat up? Is he going to fight back? Is he going to continue to deny it?
I feel like...
Is Sam going to change his mind and be like, I forget why I came here. I'm going home now.
Oh, that's a possibility. I think Roger's going to end up in jail for a bit anyway, no matter what. I think his money will get him out quicker than he should be able to get out, because they don't want to be without him for too long. I mean, we could have him jail scenes and stuff with
Unless
him.
He's leaving the show. You never know when actors are going to leave the show. They need a way to write them out, right?
So I think he will go to jail for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know about Sam, but that's my prediction.
Okay. And what about the other plot line? What's going to happen with Jason?
I don't even like Jason.
Jason and little Willie.
I mean, I'm excited to figure out what happened with Paul. That's my excitement in this plot line. Otherwise, Jason's just driving me bananas. He's just forcing himself in everywhere, and he's just, I don't know. I don't like him, but it doesn't mean it's not a good character, I suppose. I don't like that character. And
like you wouldn't like him in real life.
But it'd be fun to see what's in that secret room.
Yeah. Maybe another 200 episodes we'll finally find out what's in the secret room.
Maybe.
It took us 200 episodes to get to the bottom of the manslaughter charge.
You have any predictions?
Nope.
That's all.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.